Okay. So the poem name is On Killing a Tree, which is written by who? Guy Patel, right? So if you look into this poem, you must have observed the people cutting down trees. But can they kill a tree? Is it easy to do so? So we will come to know about this through this point, right? So Guy Patel gives a kind of uh, important issues, right? But at the same time, he sensitizes, right? He makes people to understand, right? And gives them the highlight, gives them or highlight the fact, right? The fact is what? That trees are living things like human beings, is not it? So the poet equates trees with humans. Equates means what? He tries to make, he doesn't make the comparison. He says that familiarity, similarity, that he tries to uh, present through this point, right? He expresses that trees should not be cut. Why? Now, through this point, if you look into that, means it's a kind of a irony, right? Why
Yeah.
irony? Irony,
Yeah,
IRON.
it's a figure of speech. Yeah, it's a figure of speech.
So the poet expresses that trees should not be cut because destroying trees is just like killing a human being, is not it?
Yeah.
Destroying trees like killing a human being. And the poet wanted to say that a tree does not die simply by cutting down, right? So why? Why the poet says that by simply cutting, you cannot kill the tree. The poet gives the reason behind it. That if you cut down the tree, it regrows. What do you mean by regrowth?
Yeah, and it grows again.
It grows again, right?
Yeah.
From where it is cut. You will find out the green twigs, small branches.
Yeah.
So that came out, or that came out what during months, if they once they find out some kind of a food, right? If it has to be destroyed, the poet said that what? Now you have to uproot it. It has to be uprooted. Do you understand? Uprooted means that called as you have to completely its
Remove. Yeah.
remove from its root, right?
Not only the fruit.
Yeah, simply by cutting the branch, you cannot means do what? You cannot kill the tree. Killing a
Kill
tree
it.
is, the point is trying to say that killing a tree is a very difficult issue, right? So the poem on killing a tree is nothing but a very means uh, unique and sensitive poem, right? So the poet convinces. Whom does the poet convinces? Sorry, whom does the poet convince? Can you say that? The poet convinces the
Other
reader.
people.
No, the readers, whoever is reading his poem, right? And telling that not to destroy, not to kill trees, and tries to say that means trees do have the life like the life of the human being. He says that a plant takes what? Sunlight, water, air, and also other food materials from the soil. Why? Now, to gradually become a huge tree. To gradually become a huge tree. It develops a strong trunk. Do you understand the meaning of trunk? That's called as a branches, right? And it gets numerous leaves, flowers, fruits, all these things, right? Which have been means, gradually developed. How it is gradually developed? Because of the food that it collects from the sun, air, water, and the other nutrients or other means what do we say that uh, other what do we can say that other things from the soil, right? And then it gradually grows. It develops a strong tree, strong trunk, strong branch, right? So the poet wanted to convey a message to the poet reader that what, now merely cutting the trees, cutting the trunk of the trees does not kill it. When a tree is cut, what happened? Now you use all the powers, are not you? You use lots
Yeah.
of power, right? Like you can say that um, the person uh, after cutting the tree, right? So can we found that what the white liquid comes out from the tree, right? Or from the particular place where it is where it is cut, right? From there only the liquid, white liquid comes out. Exactly like when a person is cut on his or her skin. So what happened? The blood comes out. So like that means the tree also produces white liquid when its branches is cut. Once the wound heals, like means we have the wound that also heals. Similar to that, once the tree uh, heals its wound, so automatically what happened? The new branches, right? And the small leaves grew from there. We grew from there, which grew into trees, and finally it turns into the same kind of a same kind of a tree that it was earlier. So therefore the poet wants to say that if you really want to destroy a tree despite my suggestion or advice, right? So then your job is to kill the tree by simply uprooting it. Uprooting it called as a, you have to remove the tree from its root in the soil, right? Which is means spread everywhere, is not it? The root of the tree is spread where? Now, everywhere, right? The
Yeah,
root,
under the ground.
yeah, the roots which are you can say that white in color, the root which are white in color and are also damp, right? Damp means strong, and also you can say that spread to everywhere, like uh, under the cave, right? And also went into the deep soil. So you can say that and also it becomes difficult to a person to uh, uproot it from from the soil, right? Why? Now, for many years, that those of the roots which have taken a strong hold to the soil, right? So, and these roots are actually, you can consider that the most sensitive. Why sensitive? Now, once it is destroyed, so the tree itself is withered. Withered means called as a causing to die, right? So the most sensitive part of the tree, as they bind it to the earth. So that is called as root. In order to kill the tree, these roots have to have to take out from the soil. That is what the poet stated, right? It should have it should means detach from the soil, right?
Right.
So once the roots are detached, the tree, uh, you know, so gradually withered. Withered, you understand? Withered is called as a causing to die, right? So,
Yeah.
and it stage outside from the ground. So therefore, what happened? It gets the huge rays of the sun as well as means air, and because of that, what happened? The root dries up. The root dries up.
Right.
The action of heat and also wind dries the drives the water, drives the root, right? So, and finally, what happened? The roots which are looking like a twist, harden, and also finally it dies. So these are the process which are means follow if you really want to kill a tree. Am I clear? Do you
Yes,
understand
sir.
the summary of it? So that is
Yeah.
what is pointed, right? Wait a minute.
So just a minute, sir, just a minute, just a minute. Hello. So,
Am I there? Means am I audible?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, when we go to this poem, we will go for the line by line description. So it is stated that you must have observed the people cutting down trees. Yes, we have, and also people have observed also. So trees are cutting down for many of the regions that called as a because of you can say that personal or because of the means benefits given to the public by the government,
Yeah.
right? So sometime we cut the trees because of means
For studying also we cut the tree.
yeah, uh, yeah,
Pencil, paper.
for the paper also, and also making home, right, making houses, right.
Yeah.
Next thing is called as we use also uh, wood of the tree, right, as a charcoal, is not it?
Yes,
So
sir.
for variety of regions, what happened, trees have been cutting down, right? So but uh, the process of cutting down the trees differ from means people, person to person. You could see that what the government cut down the trees at the roadside, uh, and what happened after a year or 2 years means from that same place you will find out the same kind of trees come out, right? Okay, no issue. Let's read the poem and find out what the poet says on killing a tree, right? The poet says that it takes much time to kill a tree, not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown, slowly consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide, sprouting leaves. If you look into this, the poet beautifully stated that, uh, beginning with what a kind of a uh, negative thought, that what now it takes much time to kill a tree. It means the poet says that killing a tree is a difficult task, right? Not a simple jab of the knife. Jab means what? Now simply means giving a rough blow. Do you understand the meaning of a jab? Jab is called as a simply giving a or sudden rough blow with your knife cannot kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife. So a knife cannot do that, right? It has grown slowly, consuming the earth, right? So the poet said that the tree has grown slowly, consuming the earth. Means the tree has the what do we say, that the tree has the roots, right, that takes its fruit, means of food from the earth, right? It is rooted in the soil, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight. So, and once the roots take its food from the soil, so automatically what happened? Rising of it, rising out of it means where you cut the tree, so there only a small green twig comes out, feeding upon its crust. Feeding upon its crust means it gets all its food from the root, from the soil. That is what the meaning of crust is called as a soil. So even the poet also said, absorbing years of sunlight. So many years it or called as a, yeah, many years it gets the natural, means natural things, or called as a nature's things. Like you can say that it gets the sunlight, it gets the air present in environment, water also during the rainy season, or means water that it collects from the soil, right? As its roots get into the deep of the soil, and it collects water also from there. And out of its leprosite, please to note down that what is the meaning of lepros? Lepros is referring to the,
Third one.
it's a kind of a disease, right? Leprosy is a kind of a disease that happens to the human being, right? So the poet wants to convey the message that once you cut down the tree, you would find out, means the outer portion of the tree is looking like, looking like the color of leprous, the structure of the leprous. Leprosy is called as a disease that happens to human being, right? So the kind of means color and the kind of outside look of the leprous patient, the same kind of color and also appearance that you would find out in, means in that tree which has been cut down, or the outer portion of the tree, right? So which is cut down, and means from there only sprouting lips. What is the meaning of sprouting? The meaning of sprouting is called as uh, a small green twigs, a small green twigs, right, which have a small leaves that came out from the tree, right, from that means from that leprous height. There only a small green twigs come out. So that is what the poet stated in the first stanza, that a simple cut does not destroy. Destroy what? A tree. A tree grows gradually, and also it is why? Now, because it is rooted in the soil or crust. A plant takes nutrition or food from the soil to grow into a big tree, right? So it collects its food from the soil, absorbing years of sun's rays, air, water, and out of its, means cutting side, what happened? It produces the green twigs or small green twigs, right? So that is what the poet said. Means if you cut down, so it does not mean that you kill the tree, right? Now the poet moved to the second stanza. So in the second stanza, what the poet stated, so hack and chop, so hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Hacking and chopping, it means you cut down the tree and cut into pieces. You cut down the tree and you cut into pieces, right? Sometimes what happened when you have a kind of a tree, you cut down the tree, right? So after cutting
Yeah.
down, so what do? You try to, means chop it. You try to chop it, and you believe that what? Means you believe that you killed the tree, but actually you did not kill the tree, right? You did not kill the tree because the roots are still present, right? So therefore, the
Yes,
poet here stated clearly, hack and chop means cutting and cut into pieces. But the contrast is used here. The contrast is stated what? Now, you hacking and chopping cannot kill the tree. Not so much pain will do it. Even if you do hard work, right? Whatever the hard work you do, right? But again, you cannot kill the tree. Why? Now the bleeding bark. What do you mean by bleeding bark? Now that the white liquid comes out of it when you cut down the tree. So so the white liquid that comes out of it. So those of the liquid does nothing but means heal it. To whom it heals it? Now it heals the cutting site, right? Like you can talk about that. And so when a person is injured, so the blood means comes out of it, and after some time it gets healed. That is what the poet also stated here. Means cutting the tree and cut into pieces, but at the same time, this alone means cannot kill the tree. Not so much pain will do it. Whatever the labor you do, you cannot kill the tree because the bleeding bark or the white liquid presents into it. So that will heal the tree. And from close to the ground, and from close to the ground. So this one is very close to the ground. So here only, or maybe here only. What do you find out? You will find out a green twig.
yeah,
So the bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground, you will find out it arises curled green twigs. Curled means what? That's something called as a twisted in nature, right? Small green branches. The meaning of twigs is called as a branches. So will rise curled green twigs, small branches will come out. Miniature boards. Miniature means called as a small. Mini. Mini means small. Small branches come out. So green twigs or small branches will come out, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. If you do not means check it, like what happened after cutting the tree means we ignore it or we leave it. We do not also see the same cutting the tree, right? So in the next time, so what happened to that? Now once you not checked that tree, what happened to it? So it automatically grows with the green twigs, a small branch, and that small branch expand again to former size. That is why the second stanza pointed, humans cut and chop, right? The bark of trees into many pieces, but that again is not sufficient. That is not sufficient to destroy the tree or kill the tree, right? The point of the tree which gets cut down, right? Simply means produces with the white liquids and which heal it, and from there only what happened means a small green twigs come out, which may be called as a small branches, right? Or small branch, and that small branch expands into the same form like it was earlier, right? So the poet stated that no, the root is to be pulled out. So after giving the idea like that, so what the poet stated, now the poet stated that no, the root is to be pulled out. Out of the anchoring earth, it is to be roped, tied, and pulled out, snapped out, is not it? So,
yeah,
or pulled out entirely, out from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed to the source white and wet, the most sensitive hidden for years inside the earth, right? If I say that anchoring earth, or if you look into it, the poet says that what? No. So all this process, if you follow and whatever the means pain or labor you take, what happened to that? You did not kill the tree, right? So how you can kill the tree? Now you have to pull out the root of the tree. And where that root is present? The root is present in earth or crust. So it means it is taking the support of the earth. So the meaning of anchoring is called as what? The meaning of anchoring is called as a supporting, depending. So the root of the tree is depending upon the earth. So it is not easily coming out. So the poet says that in order to kill the tree, it has to be uprooted. One has to separate the tree with rope or roped or tied and pulled out. That is what one can do. So the roots of the tree bind the tree with the soil in such a way in the deep part of the means deep part of the crust or soil, and for which what happened means it is very difficult to come out. It is very difficult to coming out, right? So, but anyhow, what the poet convey the message to the reader, that the reader or anyone or one who tries to kill the tree so has to pull out its root from the soil entirely, completely, right? So that is what the poet said. It is the most sensitive part. Which one? The root is the most sensitive part. Why? Now it is inside the earth cave, or went into goes into the deep part of the earth, right? So once it gets out from the earth cave, so automatically the strength of the tree is revealed. So, and what happened means the most sensitive, the poet says, it is the most sensitive. The root is the most sensitive, which is hiding inside the earth for numerous years, many years inside the earth. So then the matter of scorching and choking and so choking, then the matter means then only you kill the tree. What happened? Now then the matter of the scorching and choking. What do you mean by scorching and choking? Now the meaning of the scorching and choking is called as a scorching means because of the air and the sun's rays. So the root revolt to the air and sun's rays, and for which it gets dry. And the choking, it unable to take breath, like human being unable to take breath. Similar to that, the trees roots are also dry and as well as means choke, unable to take breath. Why? Now, because it exposed before the sun and air. And the color of the root changed into brown and turns very hard. Earlier, it was very sensitive. It is very delicate, smooth. But once it is revealed or exposed before the sun and air, it gets into means hard, and it gets it twisted, and then it is done. Then you can say the tree will die, right? So that is what the poet said. Then it is done. This is the way you can kill the tree, right?
Yeah.
So am I clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if I talk about this particular point, right, you would find out that matter, choking, air, hardening, withering, done, earth, hidden, weight, exposed. So the if we try to draw the rhyming scheme of the poem, we don't find out any rhyming scheme in the poem.
Then no rhyming scheme with you.
Yeah, no rhyming scheme is given. So therefore, you can say it is a what kind of a means a poem? It is called as a free verse, right? What do you mean by free verse? Now, when you have no rhyming scheme is present, that is one of the things. So second one is called as the poem presents with enjambment. Do you understand the meaning of enjambment?
No.
Okay. Now, look into it. Enjambment is called as when one sentence continues into two or more lines. Like you can say that here the sentence is given, it takes much time to kill a tree, but at the same time, you have means punctuation mark. The punctuation mark is comma. Could you see
Yeah.
that? Comma is given. But
Yeah.
if you look into the second part does not carry any punctuation mark at the end of the line, right?
Yes.
It continues till the second line and then you find out the full stop is given.
Third line is also like that.
Yeah. So even you will also find out it has grown, slowly consuming the earth. So here also. So this suggests that not only that you would find out many more, like and out of its leprous height, sprouting lips, right? So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. So these are the
The feeding
ideas.
upon its crust,
Yeah. So
observing
these
just
are
the
these are called
camera.
as a enjambment. What kind of figure of speech? That is called as an enjambment. Am I clear?
Yes,
Am I
yes.
clear so far?
Yeah.
So the next one is called as a metaphor. If you talk about the word metaphor, how do we find out what do you mean by metaphor? That called as an indirect comparison, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, indirect comparison, but at the same time, it does not use as or like. If it uses as or like, then it would be considered as simile. So as it is not used with the means as or like, therefore it is called as indirect comparison means or metaphorical speech or sorry figure of speech is metaphor, right? So which one will be considered as a metaphor? Now look into it. And out of its leprosite. So can you tell me what as I have already pointed, leprosite means what? Now, it is a kind of
Disease.
a color, the uneven color of the surface of the trunk. Uneven means if you look into the color of
That
the
means
trunk,
colorless bar trunk.
no, uneven. So let me point out, this is called as a tree, right? You would find out this is, and you would also find out another, but this part, which is called as a a kind of a leprosite. This part, which is called as a leprosite. Uh, so, uh, why it is called as a leprosite? Now, because the kind of a structure is made into such a way, you would find out it is a kind of a disease, right? And this is compared to the skin of a person suffering from leprosy. Leprosy. So that is why we consider that it is a metaphor. So a person who is suffering from leprosy, uh, whatever the picture or whatever the appearance of his hands or legs seen, the same kind of appearance you would find out means uh, in a tree, right? So therefore it is called as a kind of a comparison. So therefore leprosy is used and that is called as a metaphor.
Yes.
Metaphor. Okay. Next one is called as a what is that? A bleeding bark. That is what it is also pointed. Bleeding bark. So what do you mean by bleeding bark? The you would find out the branch coming out of tree where it is cut is compared to the bleeding from the wound in a human body. So like when a human's body skin is cut, so at the same time blood is coming out. Similar to that, when a tree is cut down, so white liquid also comes out. So therefore, it is called as a bleeding bark. That is metaphor one. Um, yes, bleeding bark. Okay, bleeding bark. So the next one is called as alliteration. What is that alliteration? Repetition of a consonant sound. You can say
Yeah.
that two or more closely placed words.
Time tree.
Yeah. So you can find out that called as a bleeding bark, burr, burr. Is not it?
Yeah.
Burr and burr, bleeding bark. So that is an example of alliteration. Even
The
white and
time tree in the
yeah,
first line.
white and weight. So you would find out WW sound. Uh, so they are called as a what? Alliteration. 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 Clear? So, and the next one you would find out it's called as a repetition. So repetition is what? A word or sentence that is repeated to show the emphasis on it. So let's say that pulled out is repeated, is not it? The word pulled out is repeated. So therefore it is called as yeah, pulled out. Look into it. The pulled out. So this is something which is called as a repetition in nature. Repetition. Clear? So all these things are indicating as a figure of speech present into it. So what are the figure of speech you find out? The rhyming scheme is not present, so blank verse. Second is called as a means you find out enjambment. Third is called as you find alliteration. Fourth, you would find out metaphor, and fifth is called as a repetition. So these are the things means as a literary devices or figure of speech present in this point. Okay, am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So through this point, the poet tries to send a message. What is that message? The message the poet presents here that not to kill a tree. Why? Now, if you kill a tree, then means you have to suffer a lot. You have to get the pain a lot. You have to means do the labor a lot, right? And at the other way, if you or other side, if you see, tree is nothing but a helping hand or a means exactly like friend to the human being. It helps us to provide all our needs. Then why do we kill it? One side we face a lot of problem to kill a tree, and the other side we know that means the tree helps us to do what? Means fulfill all our needs. Then it's not necessary to kill a tree. So by writing this poem, he tries to send this message to the readers. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
That's all for the day, right? Anything else?
So no, you can end up now. So I'll have a good study.
Bye for now. Meet you in the next class. So you will be present. You will present on Tuesday or Monday or Sunday or what?
Monday, Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
Monday and Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday. Fine. I'll meet there. Okay.
What time?
Uh-huh.
Monday at what time?
Evening, 9 o'clock.
Because Chris will not do the class.
So there they do have their own exam, so that's why they cannot.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye for now. I'll meet you in the next class. Till then, bye-bye. Thank you.